definitely saw some really good Ma dancing.
Oh, I don't know. I saw some pretty good Da dancing.
Well, I think the Mars in here were like up and really going for it. Dars?
Inside we were.
Okay. The Dars are more subtle dancers than the Mars, clearly.
More kind of intellectually complex dancing,
Oh,
actually.
Okay, fine. So, having woken up a bit, I think we should say how thankful we are for this incredible day that we have together. Is anyone feeling thankful for anything in the room? Anyone at all?
I am feeling thankful that it is so nice outside so we can have all of these lovely windows open.
I am feeling thankful for the first time to play with these lovely people in about 6 months.
Totally agree.
And I'm feeling thankful that we get the chance to all be together, even if it is on Zoom this year. So we are going to chant our morning blessings together, which you can find beginning on page 4. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani kirtzono. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten layayef koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hama'avir shina me'enai utnuma me'afapai. And just before we start our verses of song, our Pesukei de Zimra, now we are seeing lots more of you join us on Zoom. We are going to tell you about something really exciting, a way to get involved in this service in a bit of time. So, in the Torah service, we know that this service might feel really long if you're little and you have to sit in front of the screen the whole time. So, in the Torah service, we have some really exciting breakout opportunities. You can do art, you can do body and soul and do some meditation and movement. You can do challenges and games. You can do drama, or you can stay in here with the 4 of us and do essential service, okay? So you have 5 options for the Torah service. Art, option A. Body, option B. Challenging games, option C. Drama, option D. And essential service, option E. Now, if you like the sound of any of those, if you're really arty and you want to do something arty, we ask you to put an A at the beginning of your name. So we need a big capital A at the beginning of your name. If you want to do some body and meditation and some yoga, then please put a B at the beginning of your name. If you want to do some challenges and some games, please put a C at the beginning of your name. If you want to do some drama, please put a D at the beginning of your name. And if you want to stay in here and hear the Torah service, then please put an E at the beginning of your name. If you don't change your name on Zoom, then we will leave you in here with the 4 of us and you'll have to hear Torah, which will be a great trial for so many of you. Okay, so please change your names A, B, C, D, or E so that you can have a great time doing an activity that you find really exciting. But for now, we're going to continue singing together with our verses of song, Psalm 150.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
then because we are celebrating two things today, it is not just Rosh Hashanah, but it is also the joy of Shabbat. We sing from our Shabbat Psalm, Psalm 92, at the bottom of page 6.
Tzadik katama yifrak, yifrak, tzadik katama yifrak, tzadik katama yifrak, yifrak, tzadik katama yifrak. Ke'erez b'vanon yizke, ke'erez b'vanon yizke, ke'erez b'vanon yizke, yizke. Ke'erez b'vanon yizke, ke'erez b'vanon yizke. Katama yifrak, yifrak, tzadik katama yifrak, tzadik katama yifrak, yifrak, tzadik katama yifrak. Ke'erez b'vanon yizke, ke'erez b'vanon yizke, ke'erez b'vanon yizke, yizke. Ke'erez b'vanon yizke, ke'erez b'vanon yizke. Katama yifrak, yifrak, tzadik katama yifrak. Ke'erez b'vanon yizke, ke'erez b'vanon yizke, ke'erez b'vanon yizke, yizke. Ke'erez b'vanon yizke, ke'erez b'vanon yizke, ke'erez b'vanon yizke, yizke.
Having woken up our bodies and our voices, we rise together for the Baruch Hu. As we take our seats, does anyone know we are celebrating a very special birthday today? Does anyone know whose or what's birthday it is today?
Tricky one, tricky one.
Anyone? Anyone at all know what birthday it is today?
Is it a planet?
It is a planet. It is a planet.
Which planet?
I wonder what planet. What planet do we live on? Does anyone know what planet we live on?
That one next to
Hannah, you always ask such hard questions.
Oh, I know. I always pose those really theological debates for you. I'm seeing people
Jupiter.
going crazy on the screen. We live on planet Earth.
Oh!
Not Jupiter.
Jupiter.
We live on planet Earth. And it is the world's birthday today.
It's the world's birthday today.
It's the world's birthday today. And I think our world is pretty great. Does anyone else think our world's quite good? I mean, there's a horrible virus at the moment that's keeping us all apart. But other than that, our world's doing really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
details.
And sometimes I look around at the world and ignoring some of the terrible things that happen, I think, wow, what an incredible world this is. Whoever made this world must have really made it with wisdom. Do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I think I'm going to need to see everybody's hands. Has everybody got hands that they can show me? Because we are going to need to do some actions. So I want you all copying my actions as we sing along about how great the world is.
We can see you all on the Zoom screen, and it has been so wonderful to see all your little hands going up when we sing Marabu.
It makes it feel like the room is filled with energy and not just us. We are moving on to the Shema, which is our prayer all about listening. And what do we use to listen? Can you point to the thing we use to listen on the screen? Because I can see you. Oh, I'm seeing lots of you point at your ears. But if your ears don't work very well, what else can you use to listen? What can we use to listen if our ears don't work? Very good. I'm seeing some of you point at your eyes. So lots of us who can't use our ears to listen, use our eyes instead. And there are moments when somebody might say, an adult might say to you, look at me when I'm talking to you. Does anyone's adult ever say, look at me while I'm talking to you?
Yes.
I think my adults still say that to me.
Yeah,
And that's because when we look at someone and use our eyes, we listen even better. So when we do our listening prayer, the Shema, we are going to do sign language. We are going to learn the sign language together. It's become a bit of a Big Bang tradition over the past 4 years that I've been leading Big Bang with you all. And so we are going to do our sign language to say the Shema. So we're going to learn it together now. So put your hands up to your eyes. Shema, listen. Shema. Yisrael, I want you to grow a really long beard. Yisrael. Adonai, Eloheinu, come round to your heart. Adonai, Echad is number one. Okay, so we're going to try all of that. So we do Shema, listen, Yisrael. Adonai, Eloheinu is our God. Adonai is one. We're going to try that with the music, no singing, just doing the actions with our hands. Not yet. Let's try and add the words now. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Va'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'otecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'meitecha u'b'lachtecha b'derech u'b'shokbecha u'b'kumecha u'kashartam leot al yadecha v'hayu totafot b'einecha u'chtatam al mezuzot beitecha u'b'sharecha. In place of our second paragraph of the Shema, we take a little time to be silent and think about how our actions affect those around us. So I'm going to ask you a question to think about the answer to. How can you be kind next week? Who do you know that might need some help? Vayomer Adonai a Moshe Lemo Daber el bnei Yisrael v'amata alehem v'asu lahem tzitzit al kanfei bigdeihem ledorotam v'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf petil techelet v'haya lachem לתציצית וריתם אותו וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם ולא תשאירו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם. During the holiest days of the year, we renew our promise to stand up for what is right. We will not stand with our feet frozen to the ground and our arms limp by our sides. We will not stay silent when our voice is needed. We will not hide. We will not walk away. When people are sad, we will comfort them. When people are mean, we will stop them. When someone is hungry, we will feed them. When someone is cold, we will find them shelter. When there are tears, we will dry them. When there are hopes, we will support them. We know how slavery and sadness feel. We renew our promise this day to not stand idly by when others are suffering. We renew our promise this day to bring all people into our song of freedom. As we prepare to rise together for the Amidah, I'm going to remind you once again of the breakout options that you can have during the Torah service. This is probably your last chance to change your name because we are soon going to be in that Torah service. This is the last bit before. So, if you are with us on Zoom, then you need to change your name to put an A, B, C, D, or E in front of it. If you really like arts and crafts, put an A in front of your name. If you really like body and yoga and movement, then please put a B in front of your name. If you like challenges and games, please put a C in front of your name. If you really like drama, put a D in front of your name. And if you want to stay with us in here, in essential service, then please put an E in front of your name. And if you are watching us on YouTube or on Facebook, you still have time to log on to the Zoom call to change your name and be put in one of those breakout rooms to do incredible things with our youth and education team and lots of our volunteers and madrachim today. So please log on to Zoom, change your name, A, B, C, D, or E, but for now we will rise together for the Amidah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Konei Hakol, V'zocheh Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Go'el Livnei Bneihem, Lama'an Shemo B'Ahava. Zochreinu l'chaim, Melech ha'pet b'chaim, v'chotveinu b'sefer ha'chaim, Lama'an Mechozeu Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bokei Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mohorit Atah. Mechabel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei Metim B'Rachamim Rabim, Tomech Noflim V'Rofech Oholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato L'Shenei Afar, L'Chamot Ha'Baal Geburot, U'Midom Elach, Melech Lemit U'Mechayei, U'Matzliach Yeshua. Michamocha av harachamim, zocha yitzurav lechayim barachamim, v'nemanata lahachayot meitim, baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hametim. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha sela. Baruch atah Adonai, HaMelech HaKadosh. And we take in the joys of Shabbat with our special Shabbat blessing. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat לדורתם בברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם בברית עולם. השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם בברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. We take a moment to think in our Amidah about what we are thankful for. At this time of year, we are called to think about our own actions. So we take some time to think. Do you always say please and thank you? What are you thankful for? How can you show those that you love that you are thankful for them? Give us peace, goodness, and blessing, life, grace, and kindness, justice, and mercy. Source of our life, bless us all together with the light of your presence, that in the light of your presence you give us, our living God, law and life, love and kindness, justice and mercy, blessing and peace. And in your eyes it is good to bless your people Israel with great strength to make peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. We take some moments for silent prayer.
Shalom bimroma, say shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom bimroma, say shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom bimroma, say shalom.
We continue with Avinu Malkeinu, our petition and our confession to God at this time of year. our parent, our ruler, answer us with your grace, for we lack good deeds. Deal with us in charity and love, and save us. Time now for you all to go to your breakout rooms and do lots of fun activities. So we are going to take a moment to wave goodbye to everyone that's leaving us, and say we will see you in half an hour when you rejoin us, and we can't wait to see what you've done in your breakout rooms. I think some intermission music would be great. Go for it. Anything you want, really. I'm back. Magic. Shall we do a tourist service?
Yeah.
I think that's a great
I
idea.
was wondering what the tour room was for.
Yeah.
Someone
Should
just
we,
left
should we
it
do a
there.
tourist service?
I like that.
Yeah. What a great idea.
Yeah.
We should open the imaginary ark and see what we find inside it. Yeah.
Okay, everybody close your eyes real tight, and Hannah's going to open the ark.
It's like
Everyone-
Indiana Jones. You can't look at it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, maybe we should do a tourist service. Let's go.
Oh right. Okay. Right now, you mean?
I mean, we could wait another 5 minutes if you want, but.
Inizion, te Torah, Udevaradon, Amirishalayim. 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 Baruch Shenazar, Torah le'amor, Torah le'amor Yisrael. Baruch Shenazar, Torah le'amor Yisrael. B'til Shatei Inizion, Shetei Torah, U'Devaradon Amirishalayim. Ki Mitzion, Shetei Torah, U'Devaradon Amirishalayim. And we open the ark,
Whoa!
and look what we found inside, everyone.
Torah in there.
It's a Torah in the ark that you couldn't look at. Oh, it's a heavy Torah. Are we ready for some Big Bang magic?
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone, move aside. We're gonna process.
We're going to process, clear the aisles. Everyone dance with us in the Torah scroll. Avenu Shalom Alechem. Alechem Avenu Shalom. Avenu And now that we have danced around with the heaviest Torah scroll I've ever danced around with, we are going to take a moment to undress the Torah scroll and then raise it so that you can see it before we read a bit of Torah for you this morning.
Take the seatbelt off.
Go for it.
Watch your back.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. Torah tzivat lani Moshe marasha kehilat Yaakov. Ha'el tamin dako imrat Adonai tzur Yasher koach.
Yes, indeed.
And although we would normally call up one of you to Torah to bless it today, today we are going to let Kerry bless the Torah, and in celebration of her 10th wedding anniversary to Ewan. So that's a big thing to celebrate, big number to celebrate. And also because Kerry is not going to be with us at Rosh Hashanah Big Bang next year, because Kerry and Ewan are moving to New Zealand for a bit. And so in honour of her last Rosh Hashanah Big Bang with us, for now, but hopefully not her last Big Bang ever, because hopefully we will get the chance to do this again before you go.
We'll be on Zoom anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We can just Zoom you in. We are
Second
going
wave,
to let Kerry do the blessings and then follow in the scroll for us this morning. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan banu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. So Kerry is going to follow in the scroll for us this morning, and I'm going to chant the Torah for us. Vayavoru el hamakom asher amar lo ha'Elohim vayiven sham Avraham et hamizbeach vaya'aroch et ha'etzim vaya'akod et Yitzhak bano vayashem oto al hamizbeach Mima'al ha'etzim, and they came to the place which was told to him by God, and they built there. Abraham, he was the one that did the building, the altar, and they laid out the wood, and he bound up Isaac his son, and he placed him on the altar on top of the wood. Vayishlach Avraham et yado, vayikach et hama'achelet, lishkot et bano. And he sent out Abraham his hand, and he took the knife to kill his son. Vayikra elav Malach Adonai min hashamayim, vayomer Avraham, Avraham, vayomer hineni. And he called to him an angel of God from the heavens, and he said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, here I am. Vayomer al tishlach yadacha el hana'a, va'ata lo me'uma, ki ata yedati, ki yirei Elohim ota, v'lo chasachta et bincha et yechidacha mimeni. And he said, don't reach out your hand to the young lad, and don't do anything to him, because now I know that you fear Adonai your God, and you did not withhold your son, your only one, from me. Vayisa Avraham et einav, vayar v'hinei ahil echad, na'achaz b'tzvach b'kornav. Vayelech Avraham vayikach et ha'ahil, ויעלהו לעולה תחת בנו. And he lifted up Abraham his eyes, and he saw, behold, a ram, one in the court, in the thickets by his horns. And he went, Abraham, and he took the ram, and he placed it on the altar above his son, under his son. Vayikra Avraham Shem hamakom hahu Adonai Yireh Asher Ya'amner Hayom Bahar Adonai Yireh. And he called Abraham the name of that place of God, his God saw, which he will say today, on the mount of Adonai he saw it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, b'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And Yasher Koach to you. Yeah, that was deserves a Yasher Koach. And as we dress the Torah scroll, we will sing a Siman Tov U'Mazel Tov for Kerry and anyone else who is celebrating something today. Mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, yehelani. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov. It's on Gideon Chat. It's on Gideon Chat. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulu Chol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu. So, we just had a pretty juicy story there. Anyone else think that was a pretty juicy story that we just had?
Yeah, it's quite a story, and it throws up a lot of questions.
Yeah, really? I mean, I've got 2 fathers in the room with me today. 3 actually, because Alex, who's doing all the tech for us, he has daughters. And would you just take your son and sacrifice him?
Now, I've got to tell you, Hannah, I feel Abraham is completely in the wrong here. I mean, there's faith and there's blind faith. And I feel like if you hear a voice telling you to do something so unspeakable as to take your most precious thing and to destroy that thing, I say you question it. You question it big time and you say no. And that's what Abraham should have done. And I've never understood why we hold this up as a story of great heroism, when actually I think it was quite a bit mad.
Well, you know, Gideon, I have to say, I think you've made a great point there. And furthermore, something that this throws up in my head is Abraham is not historically one to shy away from a fight with God. Abraham will get in there, he will get in the argument pit, he will say, God, why are you destroying Sodom and Gomorrah? Can we not find 50 righteous people? Can we not find 40 righteous people? He bargains God down to 10, but when it comes down to his most beloved child, does he bargain? No, he does not.
Very strange.
Very odd.
May I just counter that a little bit? Just that, I agree with both of you. It's a really, really difficult story to hear, but I do think that, you know, Abraham, I think in his heart of hearts, he thought God was merciful. I think he was sort of playing it a little bit. He was going as far as he could. Sacrifice is very important for all of us, right? And I think he always knew that God would come good in the end. That's my feeling. So.
And also, to back up Mark's point,
Thanks.
Abraham had already made a bit of a mistake with his other son Ishmael, which we're going to read about tomorrow, because he'd cast Ishmael out into the desert with just a skin of water. And maybe God was just trying to really show Abraham the lesson this time. So he really, really loved Isaac. He'd waited until he was in his 90s to have Isaac, and it was so shocking that he was able to have Isaac that actually is called Yitzchak, which means laughter, because Sarah laughed when they found out she was pregnant. And so maybe God is just trying to teach Abraham a lesson. And if Abraham hadn't learnt this lesson, then Abraham would have never learnt the compassion that God is showing, right? The compassion and the mercy that Mark spoke about. So maybe actually we needed this lesson as part of our story.
From rupture comes repair.
Yes, exactly.
That's really interesting. I wonder if anyone on the Zoom call has any thoughts about this.
Yeah, does anyone think Abraham was in the right or in the wrong? Oh, can I see anyone wave? Were the Marcusons waving at us? No, the Marcusons were just waving because they wanted to say hello. They don't actually want to speak. They just blow shofar today. Does anyone else have anything that they think they could add to our very exciting discussion about whether Abraham was right or wrong?
Well, I just seeing my sister Sarah there reminds me of whether if you're going to sacrifice your son, shouldn't you ask the mother? Shouldn't you just check with the mother? Thinking of sacrificing our son.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Should we talk about this? No. Don't think he consulted her.
That is true. And actually, Midrash says that Sarah was so angry with Abraham and his actions that when Abraham came back by himself without Isaac. And that's because Sarah left him and went to live with Isaac somewhere else. So that's one midrash, but there's another midrash which is even worse, and it says that when Sarah heard what Abraham was going to do, she was so upset that she died.
Wow.
Well, that'll show him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, big thumbs down I'm seeing from Sarah, because I think, if you asked her consent about sacrificing her son, she's giving you a big thumbs down there.
She has a son called Isaac as well.
Oh, gosh. Okay, well... Oh, you want to sacrifice Isaac, Sarah? Okay, well, we should talk about that separately.
Keep her muted. Keep her muted.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. Some people get a buy one, get one free offer and have 2 sons for the price of one, like our newest additions, the twins, Oscar and Jasper. So maybe, you know, one of them would be the sacrificial rite. I think that's Jasper there that they're showing us, the sacrificial rite. And they'd keep Oscar. Maybe that would be the choice that they'd make. I don't know. No, maybe not.
Jasper's not too happy
Not
about
sure.
that.
He's not happy about that.
I don't think he was happy about that. Now, I'm not sure how long the breakout rooms have still got, Alex. If you could give us a number. Oh, Alex doesn't know how long the breakout rooms have still got. But it is 10 to 12, which means they should be coming back any second. But I'd like to give you one more argument for Abraham's actions, because there is an argument of Metzirat HaNefesh, the surrendering of oneself. Now, have you ever had to give up something you really, really like because you could do to bring about something better? Like you have to give up maybe eating chocolate for a week because at the end of the week you're getting a giant chocolate cake, so you don't want to feel too sick by the time you get the chocolate cake. Has anyone had to do something like that before? That was not a great example.
Give up chocolate so you can have more chocolate.
Yeah.
No.
Like sometimes doing a small sacrifice so that you can have something bigger at the end.
Yes.
A little bit like giving up.
Yeah. Right. A small.
Yes.
Mark's on
Yes.
my wavelength today.
Pocket money.
Pocket money.
You save up your pocket money and then you get a big thing at the end, rather than going
Right.
straight to the corner shop and getting your thing.
Delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification.
I mean,
Right.
bringing it more
Did you hear that,
immediately
Robin?
home, maybe, you know, Ewan and I are giving up Big Bang for a couple years so that we can have a different adventure in New Zealand, which is very sad. And I know, Hannah, I'm crying too. But it's,
We don't talk about it. So that's a Jewish principle called Metzirat HaNefesh, which is surrendering the self. And sometimes we have to be willing to give up some things to bring about something better. So maybe Abraham had to show willingness to give up Isaac in order that we could grow and become a great nation, because it's because of this sacrifice and because of the willingness that he showed to God at that point that we knew that we were a nation that could be trusted, and that God therefore made us the people that would receive Torah and eventually become the Jewish people that we are today. So maybe that's why he had to do it.
Possibly.
strong point, Rabbi.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
still think he's mad.
Still think he's mad.
Did he offer himself up rather than his son?
No, he didn't.
Right.
No.
I feel a bit bad. I don't like that. He
Yeah.
offered himself, I think.
Because I do think that sometimes we need to be willing to sacrifice ourselves, but not maybe our children. Yeah. Alex is nodding as well, so I think Alex also agrees with us.
Something reassuring that I do find about this story is that God did stop him,
Right.
which it would have been a much worse story if that hadn't happened. So almost in the sense of our having trust in God, that God in the kind of role of almost the parent of the parent gives us a hard stop and says, no, I won't let you do the bad thing. I will stop you and send someone out to stop your hand. That's quite reassuring.
That is reassuring. I think we could get everyone to weigh in on the situation by doing a quick poll. But everybody's rejoining us now, so we can't do the poll. Never mind. But if you were in our discussion, can you put your hand up if you think Abraham was right to try and sacrifice Isaac? Put your hand up if you think Abraham was right. It's not a resounding right, is it? Put your hand up now
Mille
if you
point.
think Abraham was wrong to try and sacrifice Isaac. Okay, so we've got quite a resounding
not looking good for Abraham.
wrong.
Go reform.
There we go. So what we've learned from the moral of the story is do not try and sacrifice your children. That's a bad thing to do. And now, as everybody rejoins us after that very scintillating discussion, which I thoroughly enjoyed, we are getting ready for the most exciting bit of our Big Bang service, which is the shofar. Who has heard a shofar so far this year? Put your hand up if you've already heard the shofar blast.
Can I tell you a shofar story from last night?
I would love to hear a shofar story from last night.
We lived near a
Gideon.
train track. We were in our back garden. We blew the shofar, and a train replied.
That's so
It went,
cool. It's like when you wave at the driver and they wave back.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so we are going to start sounding our shofar with the first shofar calls. So let's say the blessings together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar. And because this is a very, very special occasion, and for many of us, the first time we will hear shofar today, we are going to say the blessing for a special new thing together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. And as we unmute Annie, who is blowing shofar for us today, Annie, can you give me a thumbs up if your kids are going to do the calls for you? Are they going to call? Yes, fantastic. Okay, so we hand over to Annie and her family as they blow shofar together.
Oh, God. Tekiah. Shivarim teruah. Tekiah. Tekiah. Shivarim. Tekiah. Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah Gedolah.
Wow, Annie, Yasher Koach. So we're going to be hearing more from Annie in a little bit, but for now we're going to move into our Musaf, our additional service, which starts with the Aleinu on page 23. לתת גדולה יוסף בראשית, אשר ברכה בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו. אינו, 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 ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומועדים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. אינו, 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 שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינה תזור בגבי מרמים. הוא אלוהינו אינות, 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 אמת מלכנו אפס תורתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבותה, אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אינות, 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 and we move into the Malchiot, the blessings of kingship, and we read together, the worst thing that the impulse to do evil can do is to make someone forget that they are a child of the sovereign. And let's say the blessing for our next set of shofar calls together. Baruch atah Adonai, melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh hashabbat, v'Yisrael, v'yom hazikaron. We hand back over to Annie for the next shofar calls, but we haven't unmuted her yet. The joys of Zoom.
Tikiya. Shvarim Teruah. Tikiya. Tikiya. Shvarim. Tikiya. Tikiya. Teruah. Tikiya.
Yasha Koach, Annie. We'll be back with you in 1 second as we move to the Zichronot, the prayers of remembrance. Days are scrolls. Write on them what you want to be remembered. And let's read together the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, zocher habrit. We unmute Annie one more time. Penultimate time we unmute Annie.
Is that the one?
Tikiya.
Tikiya. Shvarim Teruah. Tikiya. Tikiya. Shvarim. Tikiya. Tikiya. Teruah. Tikiya.
I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. A happy, happy, happy New Year. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. A happy, happy, happy New Year. Tekiah.
Tekiya. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. A happy, happy, happy New Year. Shivarim, Shivarim. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. A happy, happy, happy New Year. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout. Come on, baby now. Come on, baby. Come on and work it all out. Work it all out. You know you twist so good. Twist so fine. You know you twist so fine. Twist so fine. Come on, twist a little closer now. Twist a little closer. Let me know that you're mine. Know you're mine. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. A happy, 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 a happy, 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 a happy, happy, happy New Year. We move into our final set of shofar calls. The shofar on Rosh Hashanah cries, "Awake, sleepers, from your sleep. Get up from your slumber. Search your deeds. Become the best you can be. And remember that God created you." Let's read the blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai, shomea kol teruat amo, Yisrael barachamim.
Tekiah. Shavarim teruah. Tekiah. Tekiah. Shavarim. Tekiah. Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah Gedolah.
Goya, 45 seconds.
Annie, are you going to pass out?
There's a trick to it. You just look at your godmother's eyes all the way through, and then you can do it forever.
She is an incredible shofar blower, and we are so lucky that we had her with us today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Yasher koach. We are going to rise together as we get to the part of our Big Bang service where we put down our instruments for once. The part of our Big Bang service where we take a moment to think of the people who are no longer with us, to make music, to sing together, and to join us for Rosh Hashanah lunch. I miss you today. Today families come together. And so today, I miss you more than I normally do. I thought about you when we sang that prayer you loved, and I remembered how you used to share your talit with me when I got cold. I thought about the way that you always whispered something funny and made me laugh when I was supposed to be quiet. I felt nervous as the service ended because I knew that I would need to stand up for this prayer, and I did not know if I could do it without crying. I hope you know that even as I tried to say the words of the Kaddish, what I'm really saying is that I miss you today and that I love you always. As a community of mourners, we recite Kaddish together on page 28. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, Bi'alma divra chirute, bi'amlich malchute, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chaye dichol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam ulamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithada v'yitale v'yithalal, Shemei di kudisha berichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechamata, diami ram ba'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. And as we take our seats, we finish our Big Bang service with the words of Adon Olam. Adon Olam, Hashem Olam, B'terem kol yitzir nivra Adon Olam, Le'ein dosa b'gesh hakol, Azay melech shemo nikra Adon Olam. Adon Kushan v'ya'ira Adon Olam Ve'im ruchi Devi'ati Adon Elohim lo ira Adon Olam Adon Olam Hashem Olam B'terem kol yisrael nivra Li'et Nazar B'festo kol Adon Melech Shemo Yikra. And we move into Kiddush together. So if you have some wine or challah or apples and honey ready to dip, then please get them ready now as we do Kiddush together. Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu. Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kulam. Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. So with your wine cups ready, we say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei peri hagafen. And with our imaginary challah that we have here, but hopefully you have a delicious challah where you are, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. And finally, we have these delicious apples dipped in sweet honey. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri ha'etz. Shana Tova, everyone. Thank you so much to our incredible Big Bang musicians, to all of the people that led breakout spaces, to Alex Scannell for doing the sound for us today, and to everyone else who was with us, helping us keep safe in this time. Shana Tova, we're going to give you an opportunity to unmute yourselves now so that you can wish each other Shana Tova, and we will see you over the next 10 days. Shana Tova, everyone.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
How many did we get? Mike.
Very quiet. Hello.
She's not done anything. Everyone's muted.
I think nobody can unmute.
That's 6.
Hello.
Muted. Shana Tova.
We're in the park.
Everyone.
We're in the kitchen.
Which park are you in, Al? Which park?
We're just park doing loads of like football matches.
Hi. Dora, hi Dora. Dora,
There's Auntie Sarah. Bye. Look, there's Isaac. Can I go? Let's say hi.
JJ, come and say hello to Benji.
Can I go? Yeah, come on, let's all go. Bye. Bye.
Oh, I think the service is finished.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye, Al. Maybe see you later.
Yeah, probably unlikely, but if Mum and Dad want to, we'll join them. Is that a native thing?
It's
That's
quite
native
near.
thing.
It's quite near where they live, no?
Yeah. It's just we've been in the park all day doing football since 9.
Oh.
Anyway, I don't know if the rest of the congregation want to hear this conversation.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious. I think there's hardly